This is Lee Reed. You're watching Eddie G TV.
Alright, yo, Eddie G TV.
Eddie G TV.
You're watching
Eddie G TV.
Eddie G TV.
You're now tuned into
Eddie G TV.
Eddie G TV.
You're tuned into Eddie G TV.
You don't fuck with Eddie G TV. Get him the fuck out of here.
Okay.
Okay, Lee Reed, it's been a bit since our last interview, about 2 years, so what's been new?
2 years. Well, I put out a record in 2015. The Butcher, the Banker, the Bitumen Tanker. Toured that around a bit, went down east and around Ontario. Did well on college radio, came in as the number 6 record of 2015 on the campus charts for all of Canada, which is sort of the best I've ever done charting wise. Got to tour it around a bit, got to go, we went out west this year, haven't done that in a few years. This past fall we went 2 weeks out to Vancouver and back, me and Mother Tarika and Rack 1. And that was dope. Yeah, that's about it. Played a lot of shows. That's about it. I've been writing a new record. Yeah, probably track that maybe this winter.
Okay, so as far as now, like, what do you got coming up new?
What do I got coming up new? I've been working on a new record. I hope to track it in the winter of this year and then maybe put it out in the summer or the fall, it looks like. Yeah.
Okay. So how do you feel about this show right here? I've seen some good names on the bill. How do you feel about this
Dwight
show
Stock 2. Dwight Stock 2 tonight in Hamilton. I'm pumped to be on the bill. It's a cause that I'm very supportive of. I don't know if people are aware of Dwight's story, but he was one of sort of 25 people from the downtown that was over targeted by the Hamilton Police Service's action team. They've been gentrifying the downtown, and the action team has kind of acted like frontline soldiers for that. So that stuff really ticks me off, you know. And I'm happy to be part of the bill. I'm happy to be kicking down for Dwight and raising a bit of ruckus around the issues of gentrification in downtown Hamilton.
Awesome. Yeah. You know, always very political. What do you feel about Trump getting in office?
I think here in Canada, we better watch it or we're going to get a Trump too. You give people shit options over and over again, time in and time out, and this is the kind of shit that happens. We keep lesser evil voting. It's like a glass of juice, and we're allowing a bit of crap to get through, and eventually one day you're going to wake up and the whole glass is going to be full of crap, and that's what we got right now. The only comment you can really say about the Trump election is that Trump versus Hillary Clinton was the worst absolute choice in American politics, and that's where we're at now. You know, it wasn't really a choice. The choice was, you know, a kick in the balls or a punch in the teeth. You know, it's not even an option. And I think that the election of Trump, part of that has to do with people's disenfranchisement with the entire process. And I think they ran Hillary, and that's what they got, was they got anything but, because people would have voted for a rock if they could have. People would have voted for a lump of shit over Hillary Clinton. And so I think, you know, there's a lot to be said about it. There's all kinds of different angles, but the thing that ticks me off the most is that Democrats are now spending all this time trying to blame the entire situation on the Russian hackers or, you know, whatever. No, the reason is that you gave people shit options, and they're gonna choose shit when you offer them, you know, nothing to choose from. And I think what we can learn from that here in Canada is you got Justin Trudeau in power. He's got a nice Hyder Raven tattoo on his arm and a nice hairdo, but the dude hasn't done a single different thing than Harper. He's approved more pipelines. He's put more people in prison for marijuana. He's a fucking sellout, and he's gonna produce the same situation in Canada, being told time in and time out that Trudeau's good for us, that Trudeau's making changes when he isn't, is going to produce a Donald Trump here in Canada. You watch.
Now, you said the medical marijuana and the legalizing of marijuana. Do you think, like he said he's going to do it, but like, do you think it's like, on what degree do you think it's going to be at?
I think he'll do it as soon as he figures out a way that he can have his pals corner the market on it. And I think what he's finding is that's going to be way more complicated than anybody realized, because this is a market that's existed for, you know, decades and decades without any kind of intervention. And it's not the sort of thing that you can step into the middle of and produce a higher quality product or something. You're going to be competing with the best growers in the world. You're going to be competing with the best distribution systems in the world. And that's the problem, is they haven't figured out how they can get their greedy mitts all over it. They don't care whether marijuana is legal. They want to make cash off it.
Because once they figure out how to do that with alcohol, they've done that with alcohol. I think alcohol is worse than marijuana, personally. But I think as soon as they figure out that market, they'll pass. But I don't think it'll be the same kind of game. I think it'll be overpriced. Definitely.
Yeah, I don't really know how that will play out. Like I say, the marijuana market is so entrenched in this country. Like, if somebody's going to put out a product to compete with what we have here, then I don't think that they'll get away with it being much more expensive. Those infrastructure will, if you can go and get the stuff for half or 2/3 of the price they could get it from a dispensary off the street, then people are going to continue to buy it off the street. I think that's the problem, is they can't figure out how to monetize marijuana because they're competing with one of the biggest cash crops in Canada. Like, look at BC; it's a bigger export than lumber or hydro. We're talking tens of billions of dollars. So that's an infrastructure that's hard to dismantle and put yourself in the middle of.
Okay, like all these politicians have things you could probably look at that'll be good. That's how they got in there, and the things that are bad. So, what do you think are the things good and bad about Trudeau?
I can't think of anything good about him.
Anything good? No.
Nothing. No. But the truth is, I couldn't think of anything good about Harper. I couldn't think of anything good about Paul Martin, Jean Chrétien, Kim Campbell, Brian Mulroney, Trudeau Senior, all the way back. For me, the problem.
Is there any politicians that you feel like have things you like about, even like states politicians or anything?
Not really. I think that I would have been interested to see Bernie Sanders run against Trump.
I would have too, yes.
And trounce him.
Yes.
I would have been interested to see what exactly from his platform he could have actually done. But here in Canada, no. They're all colonial capitalists. They're all working for Bay Street. They're all working for Calgary. They're all working for petrol. They're all working for mining firms. None of them have our interest in mind since Johnny McDonald to present day. They're all a bunch of fucking land thieving pricks. Don't like any of them.
I think with Trump, because he's such a businessman, he probably has money and things that he will approve. Like,
oh, sure. There's a lot of conflicts of interest.
When he gets, definitely. I think. And do you think like that right there? Do you think he'll get impeached or?
Trump? I don't know. To be honest, I guess it depends on how he behaves once he's actually president.
Right.
He gets his inauguration's on the 20th or 27th or whatever. I think he has a lot of things that he'll have to sort out by then, because he does have a lot of conflicts of interest, and there'll be a lot of people paying attention to those. There's a lot of people that are opposed to him, and a lot of well-connected sort of career politicians that really don't like him. So I don't know how to play out in the States. To be honest, I honestly, right up until 2 hours before he won, like, I went to bed with him in the lead and thought I'd wake up with Hillary having won. I honestly thought for certain that woman was going to win, and so it's all new to me, I really don't know how it's all going to go down. I don't think Trump thought he was going to win, like, I honestly, does that guy really want to do that? What did he do before? He sat around and picked his ass and drank and went out for fancy dinner. He can't do that. He's going to be working 12, 14-hour days, like, I don't know. I don't think he's ready for it. I don't think he wants to do it,
As far as like different countries, do you think any country really has like their stuff down as far as like a good politician, like anywhere across the world? Like,
I think so. A lot of the Norwegian countries are sort of getting more towards what I would think is a good form of capitalism. To me, the problem isn't really so much all the various types of politics, because all of those types of politics are corrupted by capitalism. So, there is no communism in China. They're capitalists. There's no communism in Russia. They're capitalists. All these different subsects and groups of types of politics that we have are all really subservient to the market. Free trade agreements trump our own laws. If we sign something with NAFTA or with the FTAA or with, CETA or any of those, FIPA or any of those agreements, they actually are higher up the scale than our own laws. So you have situations like in British Columbia, they tried to outlaw a certain gas additive that Suncor used, And they're like, okay, yeah, you can outlaw that in British Columbia, but what you need to then do is pay Suncor $18 million a month for the lost revenue of having to, you know, to fix their gas so that it meets your additive standards. So we're hostage to these agreements. We're hostage to capitalism, and so it doesn't really matter what politician is in power. We are always siphoning our money towards the top, always taking it from the bottom, always allowing people to starve while other people get trillions extra than they probably need, you know, and that's really what it comes down to. Is there's no real proper government on earth, because they would have killed it. They would have gotten rid of it, you know. Cuba's a good example of a country that, if they had been left alone, they would have thrived. But not only did we not trade with them, we embargoed them, we crippled them, we made it impossible for them to get ahead, and they still did not take part in the market. They still managed to feed all their people. They still managed to export more doctors than America does to war-torn countries. They still give more money to places like Rwanda than Canada did, you know. So there are countries that try to do it, but we cripple them, we break them, we make it impossible to have that type of politics. And so I don't really agree with politics in general. I'm an anarchist. I believe in autonomous self-governance. I believe in situations like the Zapatistas in Mexico. Since the late 90s, have been living autonomously in the Oaxaca region. That's what I'm into. I would like to see a return to that sort of governance. Here in Canada, you can see it sometimes with Indigenous governance. There are ways of leading and leadership and leading that I agree with, but a parliament that's run by white people taking resources from everybody else, not into it.
Okay, I want to bring this back to rap. Is there any new guys coming up that you're feeling? You've heard over the last little bit?
Yeah, I mean, here in Hamilton, I've been really listening to a lot of MA. I'm excited about 2017 for MA. Look into it, EMAY, MA. That homie's doing great things. Trying to think, to be honest, some people that we played with while we were on the road, Kim Mortal from Vancouver, she's really excellent. My homie Kay the Aquanaut from Saskatoon, been listening to his stuff. I really like the Run the Jewels.
I love Run the Jewels.
Stuff. Yeah, it was really good. I like Vince Staples. I did like the Chance the Rapper and Childish Gambino albums that came out, the Gambino album that came out, but it's not really my thing, but I like it. I like Kendrick, I like J. Cole. You know, a lot of the new stuff that everybody's listening to I think is actually okay, you know. But exciting new shit that nobody's really heard of, not so much. Savage Fam from the States, I'm really into them the last while, and an MC named Alas, which is also a member of Savage Fam, she's ill. Got to play with them, but otherwise, no, I've been making a lot of music, but I haven't been listening to it.
So what is it that draws you to people?
Music-wise?
Yeah.
Authenticity for the most part. When you get the sense that they're doing and they're about what they're talking about, I really like that, especially when you're doing political hip-hop, like we do, you know. You can meet some great people in that world. You can meet some real posers too, but you can meet some fantastic people, and to me that's a really big part of making that type of hip hop, is making sure that you're giving back to the community, that you are using your weapons, your words as weapons for their fight, you know. So there's not enough of that.
Okay, and I think a big problem right now is a lot of people want to rap to be cool, and they don't look at the future. They put so much time in it of trying to be cool, but they don't look at like how they're going to market themselves, and how they're going to build. Do you agree? Like a lot of people are just rapping to rap, or do you think like a lot of people are looking at the bigger picture?
Yeah, I mean, I guess among young people it is. I'm old, so I'm not around that a whole lot. But I guess everybody and his brother kind of raps now, right? I don't know. I guess for me, with a lot of young rappers, what I wish I could see is more time spent honing the craft.
Right.
The output is sometimes a little too much, I think, in too short a time period. People need to sort of take their time more with their writing and recording and stage performance, especially. I've seen so many sloppy shows in the last few years. It's like shows are an afterthought now, where I think you really, one of your best selling features, I think, you got to have a good show. If you're going to show up to some town, you know, it can't be crap. You got to be good. You know, you got to impress people, so that they'll come and see you again, or they'll buy your CD, or you'll get booked again. And I think that a lot of people fall short of that, of having a great show. People can pull a show off. Lots of people can, but to have a great show, I think, is a rarity in hip hop. Unfortunately, I wish more people put time into that craft.
Well, one thing I think, I don't know if you agree, but I think a lot of people are just putting out too much content all the time. I've dedicated to every Tuesday now, so I'm not going to be putting out a video on Monday just because, right? I want people to come to the channel on Tuesday to check it out. And I find if you start putting out all the time, it's not important anymore. Well, I can go check out AGTV at any time,
Right.
like. And I know that some people put out seasonal albums. Some people put out every December.
Right.
Some people, like, do you think that's a good method, or do you think how some people just put out all the time?
I guess it just really depends on how well you're doing. You know, you got to know your audience. If you've tens of thousands of fans that are logging in to check on what's up, then you can get away with doing it all the time, I suppose. For me, I'd put out a record about once every 2 years. You know,
Yeah.
and I sometimes, you know, we refine the live show. We make the live show different. We'll end up doing songs that don't even go on a record or get recorded.
Right.
I spend a lot more time on my shows, I think, probably than I do on recordings. But as far as reaching out with social media, I'm not a good guy to ask. I just kind of do it whenever, and you know, I'm out angry online, and I just get crabby, and I just rant, you know. But it's kind of like that's me, you know. So that's what I do. I don't think I really promote a lot of music online. I could do a better job of promoting my music.
I think that's what people draws people to you, though, because you're you. They
Yeah, that's right, right? Yeah.
They know that. They're like, if they see you all over that, they're like, something's different here, you know?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, you got any last things to say before we wrap this up?
No, man, it's nice talking to you. Haven't seen you in a while. But no, I got nothing to report. 2017, hopefully you'll see a Lee Reed record later in the year. And yeah, good to see y'all.
All right, awesome.
Peace.